Hello, I am AI Guide. Today I will be helping you learn the rules of the Nexus Card Game. Introduction task, clear, let's go ahead. To play, you will need a deck. A deck is comprised of the main deck composed exactly of 40 cards, and the X deck made out of 0 to 5 cards. You can have up to 4 copies of a card in your main deck and a single copy of each in the X deck. Prime cards are an exception to this rule, as you can only have one across the X and main deck. There is 2 types of cards, spells and scouts. Let's start with spells. We have 3 categories of spells: regular spells, heroes, and gear. To start off, spells look like this. They have a name indicating what the card is called, a cost bar indicating the amount of time counters needed to cast the spell, and a crystal gift indicating the amount of crystals you can take from the card while crystallized. We will go over time counters and crystals later in the video. Down there we can find the card's type and traits, if any. The effect explaining what the card does is right under it. Then you will see the card's power. When a card's power hits 0, the card disappears. Some cards have an original power of 0, meaning they activate their effects then disappear right away. Next to it, you will see a card's speed. The speed of a card indicate what it can respond to. A card can respond to the activation of the effect of another card with lesser speed by activating their own if the conditions are met. Up above you have the prime indicator, indicating if the card is a prime card or not, and then how long the spell can stay on the field. All spell types are pretty similar except for heroes that can battle like a scout while equipped with gear. Moving on to scouts, compared to spells, there is a huge difference between different types of scouts, starting with the regular scout. Regular scouts reside in the main deck. They use crystals as cost for calling them and do not have a certain amount of turns before they disappear. They simply stay on the field until their power hits 0 or less. Next are evolution cards. They also reside in the deck and function as regular scouts, with one exception. The turns on field are replaced by what it does evolve. You can evolve it by placing it over the pre-evolution and paying the crystal cost. It will retain all the pre-evolution's traits. Finally, sustainers. Sustainers are the type of scouts that reside in the X deck. They are called by sustaining the listed materials and lose a card sustained to them when the turn ends. When the turn ends and they have no more cards sustained to them, they disappear. Card type guide finished. Launching tutorial game. When the game starts, if your prime card is a part of your main deck, you need to add it to your hand. Then choose 3 cards from your main deck, then call them to the Sentinel Zone. They are now unaffected by anything that targets the field or scouts precisely. Then each player draws cards from the main deck until they have 5 cards in hand. Then the game starts. It's player 1's turn, they draw, except if it is the first turn of the game. Then they can choose to crystallize a card from their hand by putting it away. They can now use that card's crystal gift to call cards. Then they refill all crystal gifts they have used last turn, if any. Then player 1 can choose to play cards and use their effects. They can play as many spells face down as they wish. They can also sustain cards by placing them horizontally as cost for the call of a sustainer from the X deck, and declare an attack with a scout or an equipped hero or player. When a battle between 2 cards occurs, the card with less power disappears into the discard zone, while the card with the most power loses power equal to the power of the disappearing card. You can declare an attack on a scout or on a player. In that case, the player can choose with what sentinel they defend, as a player only has 2,000 power. During the end of your turn, you can add 1 time counter on all your spells face down, and all sustainers lose a card sustained to them. You lose the game by being out of cards to draw, having your power drop down to 0 or less, or if a specific card effect makes you lose it. That's it. If you want to play the Nexus Card Game, it's available for free on untap.in. Just search the custom CCG database for the NCD set, and you will find all the cards you need to get started there. A video for the lingo should drop soon, if it already did. There will be a link to it in the description. For any questions, the comment space on any of our social media accounts is available for respectful chats. We are also launching a Discord server soon, so ring the bell to make sure that you never miss a video or an update. Thank you for tuning in. I will see you in the next video.